against the top 3 qualifiers in Asia who play in the FIBA World Cup. So we were 1 win away, except for one little problem. We were faced in the Final Four against our longtime nemesis, Korea. And we couldn't beat Korea for the last 24. I think when our Korean friends started coming to Manila, they did something with our water that we just couldn't beat Korea. Hindi ka rin ginawa nila sa tubig natin. But every big Philippines versus Korea knockout match in Qatar, in Busan, in Wuhan, well, basta Philippines, Korea, talo palagi ang Philippines. I mean, Korea just had our number. We didn't know how to beat. We didn't know how to beat Korea. So what people didn't know is I built our team for Korea. I didn't build our team for Iran or China or the traditional heavyweights. I built our team specifically for Korea. Why? Because I knew all I needed to get was to the top 3. And to get to the top 3, I was sure we were going to have to go through Korea. So my first insight in building teams, ladies and gentlemen, when you build your teams, who do you build it for? Do you build it to battle against the Irans and the Chinas or the giants in your industry? Or do you build it for the Koreas or the Chinese Taipei's or the Japans in your industry? This team we built for Korea. And so when the game started, when everyone thought that, we've had a hard time traditionally and historically against Korea, when this game started in August 10 of 2013, we were controlling the game. It was, we put together a group of players who were perfectly matched against Korea. We were leading, we were controlling the ball game until disaster number 1 strikes. In our team of Lilliputians, our Minions team, we had only one Daddy Minion, si Marcus Daltic, 6'10". He's our naturalized American player. He went down with an injury late in the first quarter. So we lost him for the entire game. So think about it. Here's the shortest team in the league, and in their biggest game, we lose our only one big guy. So by all intents and purposes, we should be not even contending. But the one thing I figured out that I discovered about our team is they're pretty stubborn, our players. When all indicators point to the fact that they should be losing, they don't believe that. They just keep fighting. And yun ang tinatawag nilang puso ng Pilipino. So we keep fighting and then we take them. And this is where I'm going to invite you to join me as we break down the video of the last 3 minutes of that fateful ball game. This is the last 3 minutes, and here you'll see the score. 3 minutes left, and we are only down by 2 points. So we're right in the ball game. We're battling Korea, tooth and nail, until disaster number 2 strikes. You see this guy, Jason Castro. He turned out to be the best point guard in the entire tournament. He was the best point guard in Asia. But with 3 minutes left, he already had 18 points. He was our best player of this ball game. Highest scorer. I mean, they couldn't stop him. They put their best defender, their biggest guy, 2 guys. Hindi nila ma-stop si Jason Castro. So, anong ginawa ng Korea? Ayun, binalya. Binalya here. Split lip. He ended up needing 6 stitches to fix up. So, we had to take him out. If you can see, hindi masyadong kita dito. The towel of our trainer is filled with his blood. So, here we are, in the biggest game of our lives, to get to the World Championships for the first time in 40 years, and in the end game, we lose our top 2 players. Ladies and gentlemen, take a look at the teams that you've built. Take a look at the teams you have in your own respective organizations. And imagine if you lose your 2 best performers. Imagine if you lose your 2 top producers. Do you have the team around them to still get the job done? And for me, what I've learned in sports and in basketball, a lifetime of coaching, is to make sure that I am not reliant on only 1, 2, or even 3 players. To have a team around them to get the job done. Let's see if we in Gilas have it. Pwede nyo ayusin yung sayang yung audio. Hindi marinig. Where's our technical? Sayang, nasira ang ating momentum. Yeah, no, you can hear the but there is a commentary that's very nice. It's nice to listen to hear the commentary as well. You can hear the Let's try another format. Ganun din. Yung plug yata.
Top tracks.
Yun.
Game over back.
Thank you. Palapakan natin si Manong. So we'll take it from the start.
Just over 3 minutes remaining. Dalawa lang ang kailangan na abulin.
Wala naman yung background noise. Okay, okay.
Ito ng gilas. Jimmy stopped on his tracks. Game over back to Alabang. Pig was bleeding for that.
In the end, my thinking about teams is we build teams because there is something that we need to get done. In other words, the reason why we want to build great, high-performing teams is because regardless of the industry or the situation we're in the end, all of us here we derive our value on our ability to deliver, to perform, in other words, to execute. So I'm not going to talk to you about execution. I'm going to show you execution. And that's why I said earlier, I'm going to invite you to the world of a basketball coach as we break down film. So here, I'm going to talk to you about our execution. The reason why we need to build great teams is because we need to execute. And as I'm almost certain, and in team up as well, there are a lot of things you need to get done, and you're going to talk about them, you're going to strategize, you're going to have vision, mission, goals, objectives, but in the end, they will all not mean a thing unless you're able to execute. So here is our offensive game plan, and it's pretty complicated, so listen carefully. This is Korea's best defender. Korea's best defender is this guy. Our complicated, sophisticated game plan is do not attack their best defender. Duh, syempre, di ba? That's basic common sense. So, their best defender is guarding our best three-point shooter. That means, that gives the signal for us that somebody is going to attack. Somebody else is going to attack.
Jimmy launches it. Bang! That's a three-point shot. Coming from Jimmy Alabang. We're back in the league. One cuts by the Mighty Mouse. Abandip.
Look at this guy on your screens. Jimmy Alapag. I'm sure you've all heard of Jimmy Alapag. When I was putting my team together, we had about 10 guys already in the lineup because we came from the Jones Cup. We had a nice nucleus of players. The 11th guy I picked was a guy by the name of Jimmy Alapag. And people were wondering, Coach, why are you getting Jimmy Alapag on the team? Because we already have two very good point guards at that time. L.A. Tenorio and Jason Castro. They're very talented, they're very skilled. They have only one problem. They're pretty vertically challenged. Medyo mga pandakekok sila. They're 5'9", 5'10". And he tells me, no, Coach, 5'11 ako. Sabi ko, yeah, right. Pag magandang gising mo, 5'11 ka. But, you know, and in Asia, our guards, they're going to be guarding against 6'2", 6'3" players in their same position. We played Qatar. Qatar's starting point guard was 6'6". And here are Lilliputian 5'10", 5'9" guards, you know, being tasked to guard those tall guards of the other team. And still, even with those two very good but short point guards, I go out and I choose another point guard, the third point guard on my team. And not only, and they said, why did you choose him? He is the most minion of them all. He's 5'8". Siya talaga 5'8 lang si Jimmy Alapag. And not only is he short, he is, tawag natin doon, thunders as well. Matanda na. 36 years old na po si Jimmy. So, people ask me, Coach, why are you, ba't mo kinuha si Alapag? Eh, alam niyo naman dito sa Pilipinas, di ba? Everybody and his mother is a basketball genius. Yung mga genius na, dami na Coach, ba't mo kinuha si Alapag? laos na yan, ang pantak-pantak pa, liit na nga ng team natin. Well, the reason I chose Alapag is because I believe when you build teams, number one, the foundation of all teamwork is trust. And I trusted Jimmy Alapag completely. I knew and I was sure in a clutch situation, he's going to make the right decision. And I trusted him as well to be my leader on the floor and to be the leader among the players. In fact, the players voted him as their team captain. So number one rule for building teams, build strong trust levels. Some of you here might have 100, 200 people reporting to you, but I would bet you have your first 5 or your top 10 people on whom you rely to get most of your work done. How strong is the trust levels that you have built with these people? How strong are the relationships you've built with your direct people? And mind you, relationships is a one-on-one thing. It's not a one-to-many. And I know we are all familiar with the financial metrics of our companies. Return on investment, ROI, ROE, return on equity, return on sales. Relationship, allow me to just give you another return, the ROR. The return on relationship is really quantum. If you build strong trust levels with your team, you model the fact that they need to build the same strong trust levels among themselves. Most importantly, you give them the message that it is important for them to build strong trust levels and strong relationships with the client, with the public, the different audiences whom you serve. So the starting point of every team is strong trust levels. And there's no other person who personifies it more than Jimmy Alapag. And I was sure in a clutch situation like we just noticed, Jimmy is going to come up big.
Maybe that's 76-75.
Now, here on defense, let me take you through our defensive game plan. This guy, number 4 of Korea, Kim Min-gu, at this point, he already had 28 points. We couldn't stop him. Ito talaga, sinuntok namin, sinipa namin, tinatsakan namin, binalya namin, lahat ng panggulang ginawa namin dito. We just couldn't stop him. He was unstoppable. So our defensive game plan, number 1, don't let him touch the ball. So Gabe Norwood, his job here, Gabe Norwood, is not to let his man touch the ball. Defensive game plan number 2, don't give Korea a 3-point shot because Korea kills you with their 3-point shooting. Any shot outside this arc, we will not give them a shot outside that arc because that's worth 3 points and Korea kills you with their 3-point shooting. So, 2 items to our defensive game plan. Don't let their best shooter shoot and don't give them a 3-point shot.
You're looking to get the ball in the post.
Yang on the move. Gets into the wing. Tyson.
Korea makes a jump shot. They go back up by 1 point. But I'm a happy coach. I think my team is following and executing the game plan. Why? We said, don't let their best player shoot. Don't give up a 3-point shot. We gave up a 2-point shot from some other guy other than the best player. What is the insight in your line of work? When you take a look at your competition, when you assess the other team, remember this, you cannot stop all their moves. You cannot take away everything they want to do. The key is to figure out what you can give up that you can live with. Hindi po natin mahihinto lahat ng gustong gawin ng ating kalaban. Hindi po natin matatanggal lahat ng kanilang lakas. Pero kailangan po natin malaman ano yung pwede nating ibigay na kaya nating mabuhay, na hindi natin ikamamatay. We could give up a shot, a 2-point shot from any player other than their best shooter. So my feeling is we're still executing, we're still following the game plan.
Plus 2 points. 2 minutes and
But you better be careful. You don't want a technical foul at this stage.
Norwood. Go.
Here it is again. Here's their best defender, guarding Larry Fonacher. Our player, Ranedel De Ocampo, he sees the situation and he's going to take advantage. 6'4.5", guarded by Korea's best player, 6'10". If your man and the best defender, the big guy, is very tight on him, is very close, nakatikit sa kanyang bantay niya. If your man is bigger than you, what can you take advantage of? What can you use? Your speed, of course. Kung mas maliit ka na, mas mabagal ka pa, umalis ka na dyan. You have no business being in business. So Ranedel De Ocampo sees the situation, okay? And the second insight in execution, you have to train your people to read the situation. They have to see what's going on. Execution isn't about instruction and step 1 and step 2 and step 3. Those are important. It's not about the instruction manual or the management policy. It's about reading situations and making the right decision. Ranidel sees the defender occupied here. He sees his man tight on him, so he takes advantage.
Leo Campo. Ranidel looking to muscle his way through.
You know, it's that burst of energy. Whichever team has more energy now, down the stretch, is going to win this. And the crowd has to be behind Gigas Pilipinas. They've got to get energy from the...
Here it is again. Here is Korea's best player. And here is his man, Gabe Norwood. Gabe Norwood isn't even looking at the ball. He's not even worried about the play here. His job is to guard this man. So if his man goes to the comfort room, Norwood will go to the comfort room with him. He's not going to let him touch the ball. That's his job. In sports, just as in your line of work, it's not only about scoring. It's not only about making the sale or making the points. Some people have to play defense. Some people have to do the dirty work and the little things. It's not only about the top scorer. So Korea is a smart team. They see what we're doing. So what do they want to do? They want to go inside where their advantage is because we don't have our big guy anymore. Here's 6'10", Mark Pingris 6'4", 6'11", Ranidel Del Campo 6'4 and a half. Talo tayo sa lahat ng presinto. So they want to go inside because that is their strength. This guy, you see this guy, Mark Pingris, I had chosen Jim Elapag as my 11th player. The 12th player was Mark Pingris. And again, people ask the question, Coach, Mark Pingris, ano gagawin niya sa national team? He's 6'4 and a half. He's a big man here in the PBA in the Philippines. But then, like you see here, in Asia, he's going to be matched up against 6'9", 6'10", 6'11 giants. So sabi na, Mark Pingris, anong gagawin niya sa international competition? Unlike this guy, Ranidel De Ocampo, you saw him make a layup, later you'll see him make a... He's a very good shooter, this guy, Ranidel De Ocampo. So even if he's just 6'4 and a half, okay lang, because he's a good shooter. Mark Pingris, and ito secret lang natin to dito ha. Mark Pingris cannot shoot. He has no skills. He is very poor ball handler, pretty decent passer. He's a good rebounder for the Philippines sa PBA. Pag ang kabantay niya, makaka-height niya. But the way people said, in Asia, anong gagawin ni Pingris? He's a small, big man, and hindi pa siya marunong sumut. But Mark Pingris made my team because for me, after establishing trust levels, what I'm looking for in my teams is effort. Effort. And Mark Pingris is the epitome of effort. He doesn't have any skill except for hustle. Hustle is his skill, effort is his calling card. Ladies and gentlemen, when you build your teams, when you put your teams together, when you hire, of course it's important that you want to hire for skill. You want to hire the best, those from the great educational institutions, those with a great pedigree or with a great master's degree or great background. But ladies and gentlemen, do not forget to hire for hustle. Hustle is a skill. The ability to work hard is just as indispensable as any skill in teams that execute, in high-performing teams. And that's why Mark Pingris is in my team. If you want to make a chotremus coach team, everybody knows you have to be a hard worker. And so people ask me, Coach, bakit itong national team natin we don't have the superstars? We have no James Yap. We have no Mark Kagiwa. We have no who are the previous MVP awardees. We have no Arwin Santos. We have no... And the reason is, I believe the best players don't automatically make the best team. What you need to have are players who are willing to play their roles, and you have to have players who are willing or have the capacity to work hard in order to a natural ability to work hard. That's why Mark Pingris is here. And take a look. If he will allow his man 6'10" to catch the ball.
I saw look.
Hanggang kilikili lang si Mark Pingris. I mean, that's a real disadvantage. But take a look. If he allows his man to catch the ball.
Chris Big Man, Sean Jun. Look at Pingris battle for position.
not only did Pingris prevent his man from catching the ball, but when his man set the screen for Jimmy Alapag's man, Pingris guarded Jimmy Alapag's man. And remember, he has no skill except hustle.
2-minute warning, Clint.
And now Pingris is guarding Randy Del Campos' man. In one play, Pingris guards 3 different individuals. Imagine, ladies and gentlemen, imagine, as you go through your work this year at TMAC, as you go through your work this year in TMAC, imagine if every single one of you can do the job of 3 people. Take a look at your teams. Imagine if your top performers can produce the output of 3 other people. Imagine if we have a room here of Mark Pingrises. The thing I like about effort is it doesn't take any special God-given talent. It doesn't take a great educational background. It doesn't even take experience. Every single one of us in this room can work a fraction of a percent harder, smarter, or better than we are already working. It is available to all of us. Imagine if we are all Mark Pingris. So Pingris, like I told you, he has no skill. He cannot shoot, but he can do this.
Sakuragi takes it away.
He can steal market share.
What a huge steal by Mark Pingris.
And Alapag now wants to set things up.
Ay,
And so picks up the foul.
Wala pa sa penalty ang Korea. Malayo pa sila. That's just the second team foul.
Give up.
Here's what I told you earlier. Rani Del Campos, 6'4.5", 6'10" guy. Now, because of the previous play, the 6'10" guy doesn't want to get close. Ayaw na niya dikitan. Kasi nung una, iniwan siya ni Pingris, di ba? So now he's afraid to get close. He gives him space. And Rani Del Campos sees what's going on. Again, he reads the situation and he acts accordingly.
Now free for the 3. Yes!
Big basket by Marinero Campo. Now we gotta play the top defense. We need a stop.
Tyson against Alapag. They're caught.
Look at Korea. They're calling a play. See this gesture, elbow play that gives them as we go here, go there. Kailangan naman natin Jawo, di ba? This is you, this is you. Diyan ka pupunta. That's how basketball teams play. They call plays. They call a play, and that tells everybody what they want to do, which is here, get the ball in the hands of their best player.
Out the elbow play.
No unnecessary fouls.
They go to
Finally, they get the ball in the hands of their best player. And now, Gabe Norwood, he's panicking. Sabi niya, yari ako kay coach dito, mumurahin ako, pinahawa ko ng bola. Let's see if he will allow his man to score though.
He's got 27 big points already.
He forces the pass.
Now, it's fouled before.
Unfortunately, we fouled this guy. Again, we will give him 2 points. He's going to make 2 free throws. But that's not their best player, and we didn't give up a 3-point shot. So, we are still executing the game plan. We are still following the coach's instructions.
But the Philippines is in the penalty unit in the backcourt being applied by Korea. 1:10 remain in the semi-final knockout.
Because of that foul that allowed us to get our best player in, here he is again, Jason Castro, the one I showed you earlier. Our trainer stitched him up, 6 stitches, lower lip, comes back to the ball game. You cannot keep our players off the floor. They will play while they can stand and they can walk. So Castro comes in, our best player comes in, what does Korea do? Automatically, they put their best defender on our best player. Now, Jason Castro has all the right to demand the ball. He's our best scorer. He's our top scorer at this point. But Jason Castro, very good player, he understands execution. He sees the best defender on him. He knows what the game plan is. So, because he knows that the best defender is on him, what does Jason Castro do?
Catch.
Spreading the floor is
He spreads the floor. He gives space to to allow the man with the ball to make a play. Ladies and gentlemen, you may be the best player in your team. You may be the most accomplished in your organization or business unit. Do you have the humility and the selflessness to sometimes spread the floor and create room for another player to make a play? That's teamwork. That's all part of what makes great teams. Jason Castro sees that, he creates space, he moves away to allow the man with the ball to make a play. And what are they doing? Now everybody is in their position. Castro is here, Ranidel de Ocampo is here. Take a look at me. I'm just here. I'm standing. Okay? I have my arms folded. I am fully trusting that my team is going to make the right play. Because I've built strong relationships with my people. I know they will make the right play. What are they waiting for? They're checking time, situation. They're reading the defense. They're reading each other. And at the exact, precise time, not too soon, not too late, they're going to make a move. Everyone is in his proper position. Another insight for us team leaders or team managers or bosses in the organization. As head coach, our job is not to take the shot. Our job is to put our people in the perfect position to make the shot. That's our job, to put them in the right places. Our team here, we're all in our perfect position, except I don't know what Pingris is doing here. It's not like he can shoot the ball if he catches it there. But he's waiting. He's checking things out. Remember, Pingris cannot shoot, but he can do this.
Allowing space for him to penetrate the drive.
Alabagas, 6 seconds to work with.
He can bangga the kalaban. He sets a screen for Jimmy Lapag to allow Jimmy to do this.
Jimmy launches it.
Jimmy Lapag got it down. That's a 5-point lead. Now there's pressure. There's pressure in South Korea. They want the timeout. But it's not over. It's not over. You'll be the 5-point lead. We've got to be able to hold our strength.
Smallest player on the floor, oldest player on the floor.
Timeouts, para dito sa Maria with only 54.
This is the shot heard around Asia, and everyone celebrates Jimmy Lapag for this shot. But let me ask you this question. Could have Jimmy made this shot if Pingris didn't screen, if Castro didn't space, if Norwood didn't play defense, if De Ocampo didn't make those 2 previous shots earlier? No. It doesn't matter how individually skilled we are. Without our team around us, we are nothing. Our value is very little. It's all about building the team around us. It's all about trusting the people that we work with. The Jimmy Lapag here, what he's doing is very simple. It's called ROR. It's a return on relationship. It is his way of paying me for the trust I had in him. Even when he was the shortest and the oldest on the team, I put him on the national team. What he's doing here is just payback. Return on relationship.
It's the go.
And so Korea calls timeout. We're up by 5 points. We need to play defense. And Jimmy Lapag is not our best defender. So we take him out of the game. We put our best defenders in. And in sports, this is so obvious. It is so common among divas, the superstars. They will tell you, Coach, why did you take me out of the game? I just hit 2 big shots. What are you thinking? Why are you pulling me out of the ball game? Not Jimmy Lapag. He doesn't care. He can, whatever you want him to do, whatever the coach wants him to do, that's what he's going to do. And so from being the shooter, the go-to guy, he's now head cheerleader. Chief prayer warrior. Sometimes we need to be the shooter. Other times we need to be the defender.
Other times we need to steal the ball. Other times we need to pass the ball. Sometimes we need to be the cheerleader. Sometimes, hopefully, there are not too many times when we need to pray and be the prayer warrior. But whatever it takes to get the job done, that's leadership.
Kapit BC, Buong Pilipinas. Korea down by 5. 50 seconds to try and make it up. Gilas looking for a stop. Minggu, puta na ni Gabe Norman. Rapidel, now on the Ping. After that, this LA and Gilas will waste away the time.
Oh, what a big defensive effort on the part of Gabe Norwood. You know, sinasabi natin, kailangan natin isang tao to stop King Ling Su. And that had to be Gabe Norwood, the best defender of the Philippine team.
And now we are championship point. LA Tenorio sees the best player on him, automatically he moves away. Without saying, you don't see us calling elbow or play 1, play 2. You don't see me gesturing of telling the players what to do. They know what to do at the exact situation. They are accountable for their behaviors at every single point. And that's the third part in our team model. Trust, execution, accountability. Every single one of our players knows his job. He carries his own weight. He's accountable for the job given to them by the coach. So this guy spreads automatically, without talking. They get the ball in the hands of our best player, Jason Castro. Because they know, in a clutch situation, we get the ball to the hands of our best player. Jimmy Lapag is on the bench, remember. The guy who just made 2 big shots. Now they know the next guy to go to. Jason Castro is here. LA Tenorio spread. Ranidel just made 2 big shots. He's in the corner. Gabe Norwood is spread out here. Actually, he can't stand straight anymore because he's dead tired. Kahabol dito sa lintik na itong bantay niya nito. And now we're in the perfect position. Oh, by the way, where's Mark Pinglis? Oh, Mark Pinglis is here. Nagtatago sa bola. Eh, baka mapasahan pa siya eh. Remember, he cannot shoot. He doesn't know how to shoot, so he's hiding from the ball. Championship point. Our players are checking time, score, situation. They're reading the defense. They're reading each other. And at the exact precise time, not too soon, not too late, they're going to make a play.
26 seconds away para maburo na ang pangungot ng Korea. Castro, Pingles! Layin sila!
Ang masipag pinagpapala.
Yan for 3 doon. Pingles with a rebound. And the curse of Korea is about to be broken here inside the MOA Arena.
The Philippines is in the finals of the FIBA Asian Championship. What a victory!
Gilas Pilipinas books a ticket to Spain next year. Nasa finals po tayo bukas kontra Iran. What a performance by Gilas. Kalahati ng ball game na hindi na nakasabaw si Marcus Nelson. Pero yung mga bata natin dito, puso, lahat, iniwan, buwis buhay type of basketball na ginamit dito.
Wish buhay type of basketball. All I've done today was just to share the stories. And if you haven't seen it, and this is a shameless plug, but it is a great documentary. If you have watched every Monday, 8 o'clock, it's the story of Gilas, individual stories. On Monday is the Mark Pingles story. It's going to be 2 parts. Yes, I'm not kidding. On Monday, we're going to go to Pozo Rubio to show you saan siya natulog, sa ang palengke, kung gaano kahirap yung buhay niya. Last Monday was the Gary David story. How he survived on 10 days meal allowance a day in college. 5 pisong kwek-kwek, 5 pisong kanin. And these are, what I'm doing is just telling you the stories of our national team. It's inspiring, it's motivating. Please put it in your calendar, a reminder to watch Kwentong Gilas on Monday, the Mark Pingles story. So that is our team model. Siyempre sa Channel 5, ano ba naman tanong yan? Siyempre doon tayo sa kapatid. Sports 5. So that is the Gilas team model. Trust, execution, accountability. Finally, it's motivation. As leaders, every single one of us is responsible for motivating our teams. And you know, we don't have a whole day's workshop for us to go to the nitty-gritty of motivation. Suffice it for me to tell you that my number one rule for motivation: first, be self-motivated yourself first. And in case you didn't catch the double redundancy, let me repeat it again to you for the second time again. Dear leaders, we cannot fool our people. They smell us a mile away. You can offer the best rewards, the biggest incentives, and say the perfect rah-rah speeches. But unless our people see that you yourself are motivated, you cannot motivate any other individual. Our people, especially those coming out of college today, they are not impressed by your position or your title or your accomplishments. They will only see what is the state of my boss today. So how do you motivate? Number one rule: first, be self-motivated yourself first. In our team, there is only one motivation, and I want to end my talk on this note: that I fully admire and champion what you're doing, because this is for your own good, for your organization, but I really think it's good for the country. It's good for Team Philippines, and please give yourselves a round of applause just for doing all of this. I know you're all busy with your individual respective work in your different organizations, but in the end, the story of Gilas is very simple. Fight till you cannot fight anymore for your country with all your heart. Laban, Pilipinas, puso.
6 months.